Hey guys. Hi everybody. Happy Thursday. I am live. I am your host, Karen Oliver. I am Coach Karen Oliver. I am a life purpose life coach and a integrative health and nutrition coach, as well as a skincare beauty owner. I own my vegan skincare line. And we are back, you guys. We here live YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and I am also live on my wisdom platform in the wisdom community. I hope you guys are doing well and just wanted to check in. You guys know we do Monday check ins, but I'm also giving you guys a scoop on the podcast episode that is getting ready to start titled Feeling I'm Pretty. So, hey, wisdom family. Hey, everybody live that can actually see me and hear me and my family on wisdom actually can come up. They can share, they can hear me, and all that good stuff and leave messages. So I just want to know what's going on with you guys. I hope you guys are doing well, doing well. Hope you guys are doing well. Um, uh-oh. I was trying to open up my other platform. I got my tablet here, and then and then I'm live on my computer. So what's up? What's up, you guys? Wanted to talk about feeling unpretty. You guys are so let's talk about feeling unpretty. Why that's a topic we're going to be discussing a lot of things on the podcast going into August. We got what 3 more days before August coming in, so I just wanted to start us off today with our topic on the Stay True Committed podcast. And I am the owner of the Stay True Committed podcast, which is an extension of my brand, WCD Coaching, which stands for Women Committed to Dreams. And so let's talk about feeling unpretty, why we feel unpretty. I'm sorry, you guys. I meant to get on my tablet, but I'm using my phone for the wisdom community. Sorry. But it's too late because I didn't already started, you guys. So anyway, let's dive into it. I'm looking to hear from you guys. Everyone can comment, you can share, you can even request to be live in the Wisdom family. On the other platforms, you can leave your comments. If you have not, but those of you who are not on the Wisdom community or have not downloaded the Wisdom app, my handle is at Karen underscore Stay True podcast. That is my wisdom community app name if you're not on wisdom. And so, you guys, thank you guys for popping in everywhere. Feeling unpretty. Why do we feel unpretty? Is there a reason why we feel unpretty? Is that a reason why we feel? Why do we feel that way? Um, you know what they say that is a reason to everything. And most times we have to get down to the root of the problem of why, women and men, I'm talking about men and women, all of us individually, why do we feel unpretty at times? Why do we feel like we're not worthy? Like why do we feel like we can't handle this job? Why we feel like we can't handle this business? Why do we feel like we are not valuable on the inside or outside? And so there's a lot of questions and there's a lot of things that are going back and forth in our minds. And I know a lot of people, have dealt with that. You feel like that you're not valuable enough to be in a place where other professionals are. You know, there are a lot of levels to profession. There are a lot of levels to get into a place where we want to go. And when we look at somebody else, we feel like, hey, I can see why they got there, but you can never see yourself. You can never see why you can't get there. Or you always got in your mind, well, why can't I? Why can't I? The question is, why can't I? Or it's like if we really really have listened to ourselves individually, and now I'm going to go back to personal development a little bit because all this ties into personal development. But when we listen to ourselves And if we was to tape ourselves, or somebody was to tape ourselves, all we continue to say over and over again is, well, they got it, they got this, they that. They're better at that. They have so much experience at that. I don't have that expertise that they have. I don't, and they have. And if we listen to ourselves, it is they have, they can. But then when we point the finger back to ourselves, it is I don't. So you're saying that others have and you don't. And so the thing about it is pointing all the fingers to yourselves and saying, hey, let's take they out of the equation. Let's take out, let's take out um I don't. Let's look at ourselves and be like, wait a minute. If somebody was to hear me, or if I was to write these things down and brainstorm, I would say to myself, for example, Karen, all the things that you just spoke and all the things that you said that you couldn't do this, you said that you couldn't do that, you said that you didn't have what it takes. You know, if you listen to yourself and you read back the statements that you said about yourself, you're saying that you can't do anything. And so it all starts with the mindset. And the reason why you're feeling unpretty, the reason why you're feeling unvaluable, you're feeling unconfident, you you don't have the stigma, you don't have the motivation to tell yourself, and you don't feel that way. So before you can tell yourself something, you got to feel that way. You got to feel that you can conquer anything. You got to feel that you can do anything. Yes, you may not have the expertise at everything, but what's holding you back from getting that education, that training, or that expertise that you need to get expertise in? And sometimes we got to understand that the next person that we think that has so much expertise that we don't have, that's not even true. They don't even have that education that you think they have. It's just that they studied, they practiced, they showed up, they were confident, they were bold, and they opened their mouth to get what they needed to get the tools that they needed to get the education they needed to get the training that they needed to get. And as far as personal development, and you changing your mindset and having that motivation, saying turning those words around and saying, I am pretty, I am loved, I can be the next top author, I can be the next best selling author internationally. I can graduate with my master's degree. I can start this business and that this business will be a success. I am who I am and I accept who I am. And so it goes back to saying all of those things and talking positive, making a positive impact. You know, you all just probably like a month ago, all day I was doing some work and doing some research, and all day I kept hearing be impactful. That word just kept coming up, and I kept seeing that word, and I kept envisioning be impactful, be impactful. We're not impacting ourselves enough. We're not being impactful. We're not impacting our dreams. We're not impacting our vision. We're not impacting the person that we are. Because we're not like anybody else. We're different. And so being impactful and accepting yourself, accepting where you're at, accepting the progress in the things that you're doing in life, that is a tremendous big step, because you're committing to yourself, and you're committing to yourself, and you're saying, wait a minute, I just recognize that I can do these things. I just recognize that, excuse me, I just recognize that if I put my foot forward, if I put one foot forward, I know that everything else is going to end up falling in place. Why? Because I am making the decision and I am moving. I'm moving in action. And you guys, I'm actually speaking off of some of my masterclass that I did, and I actually have it recorded. And so, you guys who are listening, If you want to inquire about that master class, it is pre-recorded already. And to get in that class, what you have to do is just email me, and I will send you the link, and you will have to register. There is a fee for the master class, but what I'm saying is that the reason that you're moving now is because you're putting action behind it. You're putting action, you're moving forward. It's not standing still. You say, hey, once I did that, guess what? Number two worked out. Once you did the first step, once you did number one, number two worked out because you moved and you acted on it. First and foremost, your mindset had to change. And you had to stop yourself. You had to stop saying they this, they that. And you had to say that I can, I can. What are some of y'all ways? I know that some of us have been there. And if you're listening on any platform and would like to comment or come up and share, what are some ways that you felt unpretty? Or it could be somebody you know. What are some ways why they felt unpretty? Because I just kind of shared to some of the things of why we feel like we're not valuable on the inside. And I just shared some ways why we think we're not valuable on the outside and the things that we're doing in our life. And so it is important for us to accept every change that comes with our life. It's up to us to accept those seasons that don't feel so good. Do you hear me? Like, there are a lot of seasons that have changed in our lives and it did not feel good at all. I know, I can attest. I am a witness that it didn't feel good. You didn't want to change. You didn't want to step into that different arena. You didn't want to step into that different atmosphere. You didn't want to step into that different environment, but it was beneficial for you. It was needed for you to step into that arena of change and that environment of change because you knew that it was going to help you. You knew that it was going to help you grow. I mean, it's just certain things that I even witnessed this year, you guys, that how I came out of my shell. I came out of my shell in certain areas and I was like, wow, I'm actually really doing this. And it got better and better as I was doing it. And I was actually receiving what I needed to receive because I was actually stepping out doing something I've never done before. And it was working. But if I hadn't never stepped out, and then it wouldn't have never worked, or I never would have got a response because if I never moved or acted on anything, and then everything would have still be the same. I hope that makes sense. Everything would have still been the same if I wouldn't have never acted upon and stepped out of my shell, stepped out of my comfort zone, and did what I needed to do. And so I hope that makes sense. And guys, you can, ladies and gentlemen, you can chime in anytime if you want to piggyback on what I'm saying, or if you can relate. But yeah, I was surprised of myself, and not really surprised, but once you start breaking out of your shell and stepping out of the norm and pivoting and doing different things in your life, whether that's family or business, you will be amazed of how the things that you can do. You can be amazed of how you're going to feel about yourself. Talking about feeling unpretty, you'll be amazed of how the things that you've accomplished and how you feel about yourself on the inside and the outside, knowing that you're just as important, you're just as valuable than anybody else. You're not meant to do the same things like everybody else. You're not meant to have the same business just like anybody else. And even if you do, because there's a lot of businesses out here, you guys, that are the same, but they have a different approach. And I'm trying to stop saying you guys. I'm trying to get into the habit of say gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen. So you everything has a different approach. It can be the same thing, but everybody has a different approach, and nobody has the same niche that you have. Nobody has the same level of niche. Nobody has the same level of message that you are trying to teach someone. Nobody has the same level of mission that you're going for. It can be different. So don't get dismayed or discouraged by, well, they this, they that, they doing that. What are you doing? What can you do? And that's the things that we have to start saying. And those are the statements and the quotes that we need to start targeting. every day, waking up, writing down, you know, affirmations to yourself, just so you can get out of the habit of saying they, and get out of the habit of saying, well, I don't. Say you can change it to you can, and you shall. And like I said, you all, I'm going out of, teaching some things out of my master class. But and that master class is called Master to Success. But you got to get out of your way. And most times we are in our way. Most times we're in the way. And sometimes we even know we're in the way. It's not that we don't even know we're in our own way. Sometimes we just like to stay in our way because we're scared and we're afraid of the new change or the new norm. And we got to stop doing that. We got to be accountable of the things that we can do. That is what makes us feel pretty. What makes us feel pretty is me showing up, you showing up, putting the work in, affirming daily I can, changing my mindset, and being all that you can be, showing up, moving boldly, and acting boldly. That's what's going to change our mindset. That's what's going to make us feel pretty versus feeling unpretty. And if there are some other ways that you have felt unpretty, please, like I said again, please feel free to share. We will definitely, and if you don't want to share right now, that is fine, because we're definitely going to be talking about this going into August. We will have two topics, and going into the August. So we're going to be talking about feeling unpretty in the beginning of August, and towards the end of August, going into September, we will pivot to another topic that parallels with feeling unpretty. And so, and it's okay if you have those days. It's okay if you have those days of saying, I'm tired. I don't really think that it's normal to say you don't really think that you can, do this, but it's in you. Even though you feel that way, it's in you to show up authentically. It's in you to show up boldly. It's in you to keep going, even when you don't feel like it. That's the push, when you keep going, even when you don't feel like it. That's the motivation, showing up when you don't even feel like it. You acting boldly on purpose, even when you don't feel like it. That's feeling pretty. That's feeling confident. That is when you're committed to the plan, when you show up and you have those days where you're not feeling them pretty. But when you don't feel them pretty, guess what? You don't stay there. You pivot and you change it. And you change it with your mindset. You change it with you. Because only you can change how your day is going. So, like I said, it's normal to feel that way in some areas of our life, but we don't stay there. And sometimes some of us need a little bit more help than others, where we may need somebody accountable, where we may need somebody to come in and just shake us a little bit. Where some may be independently say, hey, I'm going to change my way of thinking. I'm going to pivot this. Some of us need that help, and they need that accountability along the way. And that's okay, as long as you get it. As long as you get up, change your mindset, continue to stay motivated. If you got to have somebody accountable, get somebody accountable. Get get a mentor, or if you know a loved one or a family member or friend that you're confident in, that is going to push you and help you when in those moments where you feel unpretty, and when you feel like you just can't do anything, or I can't grasp this degree, or I can't do this, or whatever. It's, you can say it all day long, but it's not in you. It's not in you to quit. It's not in any of us to quit. And there are some things that we had dropped the ball on, but we didn't keep the ball down. We picked up the ball and kept going again. That's what makes it so better. We picked it back up. Sometimes some people don't pick stuff back up until a year or two, or down the road, 5 years. I don't care how long it is. When you pick that ball up, you're going to pick it up at the right time. And it means that it didn't stay there. You picked it up and you kept going. So sometimes we get into we get it we beat ourselves up sometimes when we put something down, and it could be 5 years or something like that, and we beat ourselves up and we keep looking back at the fact, well, I let this sit there that long and I didn't do anything about it. This can be life, family, relationships, business. It teaches us a lesson. It doesn't matter what it is. It teaches us a lesson. Not only that, it motivates us, it matures us, it grows us to the next level, because there are some things that we just have to endure. There are some things that we just have to grow through. There's some things that we just got to learn from, and it's okay as long as we picked it back up, and as long as we kept moving along. We maybe stopped for a little bit, we maybe paused for a little bit, but we picked back up and we kept going. And so I hope that makes sense to everyone. And so now, you guys, that is all I had. I'm definitely going to leave the floor open now for anyone to come up and share if they would like, or just piggyback on anything. I just want to make sure, go to check my messages, make sure I don't have any messages. So I don't. But yeah, I want to leave the floor open for you guys to share. And again, this is something that, oops, again, this is something that we're definitely going to be discussing. So like I said, if you do not feel like sharing right now, we will definitely be back again on next week. And we will definitely be talking about feeling unpretty and what to do. Um, so, you guys, I hope you guys have a great rest of your Thursday. I hope you all have a I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. And you will hear from the Stay True Committed podcast on next week, and we will be heading to episode 96. So talk to you guys soon and stay safe. Bye.